From the very first announcement, we all knew, we felt it instinctively. Shutting down the economy, quarantining us in our homes, locking us down was deeply wrong. The lie that it was only going to be for a couple of weeks, we all knew it would be longer. And now the legacy, crippling taxation, sky-high inflation, economic recession, an entirely broken health service, a service industry on strike, a government that no one trusts, led by individuals that backstab their way to power. Life should have carried on. The economy should have remained open. Substantial medical facilities should have been put in place, and the virus should have been left to blaze its way through the population. Many very old people would have died, and then a month later, the whole thing would be over. Instead, those same very old people who we sheltered during the COVID pandemic are now dead or dying anyway because of a terminally shambolic NHS. As callous as it may sound, if the COVID pandemic had wiped out everyone over 85, we'd be saving a hell of a lot of money in state pensions right now, and the government would have raked in a huge amount of revenue from inheritance tax. NHS waiting lists would have plummeted. Economically, we'd be doing exceptionally well. I mean, yes, you'd miss your granddad, but you'd have to admit he'd had a really good run, and fair's fair, it was time for him to shuffle off this mortal coil. Now, there's no doubt that older people contribute a huge amount to society, with the knowledge, wisdom and experience that only multiple decades on this earth can give you. But there comes a point, doesn't there, when your life is just a succession of weekly hospital visits, torturous treatments and surgeries, and middle-of-the-night ambulances. At that point, aren't you better off if COVID comes along and knocks you off your perch for good? We mustn't assume that life is always worth living. Very often it is not. And even before COVID came along, an ageing population was already hindering our economy. And now post-COVID, the birth rate has plunged even lower. Pretty soon the whole of Great Britain is going to essentially be just one massive care home for the elderly. Perhaps nature sent us COVID-19 to reset the balance, to level up the population a little bit. All I'm saying is we should all hope to enjoy about 80 good years on this earth, but the expectation of more than that is a bit greedy. If you are over 85, I'm not saying you don't have as much right to life as anybody else. All I'm saying is it would help the rest of us out enormously if you wouldn't mind terribly just popping your clogs. Thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe and support my content by following the links below this video. Also, please do check out my return to stand-up, now available to view on the Comedy Unleashed YouTube channel, a link for which you can also find beneath this video.